Hello, this is Ed Crow. Today I'm going to do a quick run through of Sunfire. There were some updates to Sunfire for 2022, so I'm going to review those and also just give you an idea for those who haven't used it of how you get to it and access it, how it works, the features. Just give a review of it for those who haven't used it, and maybe for those who are using it, just go over some of the extra features for 2022. So first thing is to access the system. So you can access it through www.connect for Medicare. I'm obviously showing my age. You don't need the www. But connectformedicare.com anyway. And when you go to Connect for Medicare, you can access Connecture, which is, for those not familiar, very similar to Sunfire. Sunfire and Connecture are two different companies that compete, that do online enrollments via email and text for Advantage, Supplement, and Part D plans. So I did Connecture yesterday. Today we're going to talk about Sunfire. So you just go to connectformedicare.com. It'll take you here, and then you choose Sunfire. Okay, so here's your dashboard. You can do a number of things. Before we do that, though, what I'm going to show you is when you log in, and you will need a username and password. If you don't have one, just call us at Crone Associates, and we can give it to you, 203-796-5403. But once you log in with your username and password, if you notice at the top, it'll have your name. And if you go there, there's a couple interesting features there. First of all is your personal URL. So what I'm showing you today is Sunfire from the agent standpoint of you going in, saving doctors and drug lists, comparing plans, and sending that comparison or a single plan to your client to enroll. You also have a consumer-facing website, and that is here, and you can just click the copy button. And if we go to a new browser, so this is your consumer-facing website. And you can, any enrollments that are done through this, you could give this to your prospect or client if they want to do their own research, check plans, compare, contrast, run drug lists, doctor lists. They can do that on here, and anything they enroll in on their own, you would be the broker of record for. So that is your personal URL. It can go on your email as a link. It can be put on your website. You can use it in any capacity you'd like, and everybody has that. The other thing I want to show you, which I think is really cool with Sunfire, is their RTS reports, ready to sell reports. So if you notice right up here, if you click on that, it is going to give you a really nice comprehensive list of all the carriers in the states that you are or are not ready to sell in for those carriers, all on one big grid, which is really handy. Of course, you can call us, because a lot of times people don't know if they're ready to sell with a carrier in a given state. Of course, you can call us and we'll tell you. But this grid is very nice, so you can access that through your system. Okay, so let's go to the home button. Now with Sunfire, just like Connecture, you can do a couple things. I mean, you can add a client if you want, or you can just quote and enroll without adding a prospect's profile. You can also send scopes very easily from the system. And you just go up to here to send a scope. And you can email a scope, text a scope if you want. And what's nice about Sunfire is it lets you pre-fill out the entire thing and then email it to your prospect, which is a nice feature. If you do text, same thing. You can pre-fill the whole thing out, and then you can text it to the prospect. So that way they just click on the link to complete it. They don't have to fill anything out, because sometimes they get confused by that. If I had created a profile, that would have pre-filled in here. So when I go to text or email it, it would automatically send it to the new profile I had made for the person. So if you want to search contacts, so if you've been using the system and you have contacts in there and you want to search them, you just click on Search Contacts, and you can enter their first name, last name, email address, whatever you want, and you can search them that way. Let's go to the Quote and Enroll button. Okay, so I can either put in a zip code and just generically quote plans for that zip code, or I can add a contact. So if I add a contact, it's just going to ask me for their basic information. I'll just do myself. And then I view all plans. So I've got Ed Crow added as a contact now in the system. If I want to add medications, I can do so here. I'll give an example of that in a second. I can set the pharmacy I want to use, and I could make a doctor's list, and it will save all this information. This does operate as a CRM, so it will save all your client info as well. Primary focus today is to show you how to use this. First thing you'll notice is right now we're on Advantage plans, so you can choose the plan type by clicking the button. If you want to go Part D, dual plans, you just choose it over here on the left, whatever kind of plan you want to quote. And then there's a lot of filters here. I mean, you can filter by 5-star plan, filter by Part B give back plan, HMO, PPO, RPPO. You can sort with all of those things. So what I'll do for our purposes here is I'm going to make a quick comparison. And if you want to compare plans, you just click on the compare button, and it will make a comparison at the bottom, as you can see, that you could email out to your prospect. But just for this, I'm going to, let's see. All right, I picked 3 plans. I'm going to compare them. What I like the most about this is Connecture gives you an abbreviated summary when you compare plans. If you notice, Sunfire gives you a full-fledged summary. So instead of giving you just the basic benefits on just this 3-plan comparison, you can see everything. Dental, vision, transportation. It's a really quick way. I always forget which carriers offer what dental benefits. Same thing with transportation or OTC. This will list all of it on the initial summary. Versus Connecture, when Connecture lists the plan comparison, it gives you an abbreviated summary that doesn't include those extra benefits, and you've got to click on the detail to see each one separately. Here it gives it all to you at once, which is really nice. And of course, at the bottom of each plan, they'll give you the summary of benefits, evidence of coverage, all the specific benefits specific to that plan. You could click the Enroll button. Okay, so the Enroll button is made for when you're sitting with somebody. That is to complete their application online. You would click their Enroll button when you're sitting with them. You would do that. Let me go back to the quote. Okay, so here are our plans. You can always click the detail button. It'll give you details on that plan. We'll go back. If we make the comparison, I just want to point something out. Notice down here it allows you to compare or email. Now, if I'd put in a phone number for myself, it would give me the option to text as well. I didn't. I just put in some basic information. But if you put in a phone number, you could also text this quote. But just to show this to you, I'll click the email button. And it's going to simply, you put in the information, and it will just email out that quote to the client. And they could enroll then. When you send them that quote, they could enroll. It's going to look just like the quote I made here. They could then enroll in the plan if they wanted. Let's add some medications for this profile. So there's no meds added right now. Let's do that. I'm just going to put a couple in. We'll go. I'll put in a atorvastatin. I'm just going to put in a couple basic ones. That medication. We will go with, let's see. I'll put in Synthroid because, actually, let me go back. Give that another try. Atorvastatin, great. Add the medication. Okay. All right, we're going to add another medication. I'm going to put Synthroid in. Very few people take Synthroid anymore, but they do give you the option of choosing the generic, and you would do that by clicking here. And obviously, we'll put in Levo instead. So I'll put that in. add the medication. And we'll do one more. We'll do an expensive one. Maybe we'll do Eliquis. Obviously, there's no generic for Eliquis, so we will add that one in as well. Okay, we can choose a different pharmacy if we want. That defaulted to Rite Aid for some reason, but we'll go CVS and save pharmacy and drug information. And then when we do this, it will show us an estimated cost now on the right for each plan. And if you view the breakdown, it'll show you how much of it is drug cost. So on those medications I put in, it will show you for each plan how much your prospect would pay for the medications on those plans. It's a nice feature. It comes in really handy, obviously, on Part D. So if we click the Part D button, then it's going to show you total cost. So drug cost at the pharmacy, deductibles, copays, donut hole, everything, plus the premium annualized. It'll break down the total cost. So as you can see, for this person, myself, in fact, WellCare Value Script comes out the best for a total cost of $1,098 for the year. Same thing, you could compare these if you wanted. So we'll take the top three. And there you go. So it'll give you the breakdown of cost, how much they're going to pay, benefits, when you do that. Okay, another thing to point out is this is going to show plans that you are contracted and certified to sell. So it's an enrollment site. They can't allow you to enroll people in plans that you're not contracted and certified to sell. So when you do this initially, it's going to simply show the plans that you can sell to people, as you can see. Now, if you unclick the Appointed Only button, it's going to show everything out there. So, for example, Elixir doesn't pay commission anymore, so that's not going to be on my certified to sell. And as you can see, I can't do the enrollment because it says not appointed. But for this reason, it'll show you everything, which is nice. It will automatically re-click if you go to a new product line, so you can just unclick it down here. You also can add doctors if you'd like. When you add doctors, I won't do it for today, but when you add doctors, it will make a list of the doctors that you can then, it will show you when you compare these plans. Out of those doctors, you put in how many are in network with each plan. So it's easy to use. I like the fact that you can pre-fill the scope out with this. This will quote and enroll on dual plans, which is nice, a little easier than with the connector to do duals on this. And overall, just a really useful system. It'll save all your clients as a CRM, which you can then search as I showed you. So I think that's it. I appreciate you coming on today. Just wanted to give you a general idea of how this worked. If you have any questions, please give us a call at 203-796-5403. Thanks and have a great day.